Hello there, welcome to episode 16 of my Ultimate Feed the Beast Let's Play. This is Akko here. I want to start this episode with a correction from the end of the last episode. I said that knowledge fragments go in a research table. There, they actually don't. I had that wrong, I forgot. It's been a while since I used knowledge fragments on the main server. If you look at the knowledge fragment, you see you put 9 in a square and you get an unknown theory. And remember I had 12, so I made 9, I put them in there, and I was extremely lucky and I got the golem vaser, which is exactly what I wanted. So I started researching that. Oops, I don't want to put that there, I want to put that there. Started researching that. I've only done the cognito part of it yet, so when I get that finished I can put golem vases. So I've started making golems. So I did the research. These bookshelves, look at that, you can put your farm and omicron, sat in a bookcase. Very nice. So I've researched golemancy, which is pretty cool. I just kept researching animus until I've researched everything that's got animus in it now, so I got to that pretty quick. Well, these have animus, but the I ain't got past that yet, but like the Infernal Furnace has it, the Hungry Chest has it, so that's why I've researched them. So I'm on with making them. So the next part of this video is going to be, I'm going to be upgrading the XP grinder to a golem version. So once I've got all these made, I'll show you how I get on with that. So it's looking like this is going to be XP grinder 4, and hopefully after that that'll be it with the XP grinder. We'll be able to move on to something else, like expanding the ME system, for example. Ouch. You see my flux down the bottom left is pretty high there. I've been chucking loads of stuff in. I've just made the rest of the alembics, so that shouldn't be as much as an issue anymore. And I'll carry on, so see you in a bit. And we're back again, down in the XP grinder. You can see it's quite a bit different than last time we was here. Now this does take a bit of work, changing it from how we had it to this. Does take a bit of time. Let's go through the changes. Obviously there's the 2 iron golems. They've got the vases on, so the vases mean they can earn XP. Because of the way this is laid out now, we need more brains in jars. So we've got 1 on each side there. And if you remember on the first video when I showed the main server, we've actually got brains in jars all the way around on there, so you can get a hell of a lot of XP if you leave it running for a while. Transposers, if you drop an item right on it, they'll go down, but if you want it to pull from blocks around it, you need to actually power it. So what we've got here is, under the floor we've got redstone pneumatic tube, and then over here there's a timer and a jacketed wire. So that's just pulsing that every 2 seconds. I just left that set to its standard 2 seconds. So that's what's going on there. So we can put the last couple of transposers in. There and there. So that's the transposers all sorted. Obviously to get around the outside I've had to move everything back a bit, so I need some more sandstone. And I'll just put half slabs here so that stops any skeletons getting out and doesn't restrict the view too much. We need to move the control back a bit, but I didn't want to I don't want to do that until I've got all this blocked in, because obviously as soon as I break this, then skeletons are going to start falling. And I moved the filter and the tesseract and the fire. I moved that all back 1 because it was a little bit. It was all 1 block this way, and it could do with moving back 1 block. So I've moved all that. So that's that took a little bit of time as well. But now that's all done, or will be when I put this relay back and then turn it into the right face again. So that was the way we want it. And I'm going to take me a bit of sandstone back there. The filter just set the same as it was before, with coal, bone and the skull in there. And as before, because the path to the relay is one further, nothing will go in there until seems we had some sandstone stuck in the one of the transposers. Nothing will go in there. Nothing that the filter can take will go in there, should I say. So that's all sorted. We can put our final half slab down there, like so, and I think we're ready to go. So now we've turned this on. Let's give it a test. So you'll see there drop, and immediately they're getting killed by the golems. You can come stand on the edge. If you do it like this, just keep your back pushed to the wall, and the skeletons can't reach you even if they get close to you. If you stand right up the front, they can actually wither you. That's something to bear in mind. And then when you come down, get XP, you can just go on the edges, grab it all. Some XP does get stuck right in the middle, I believe. All the rest gets sucked to the, you can see it getting sucked to the various jars there. So that's working alright. Doesn't seem as quick as on the other server, so I'm not 100% convinced there's not mobs getting stuck up there somewhere. So I'm going to have another check up there at some point. So we know that's working. We can just break this. And I'm just going to move that back one. What is it, 2? Yeah, move that back 2. Oops, didn't mean to break that. So now we want our transmitter sat there, set it back onto the grinder again. We want a bit of sandstone there. Our inverted lamp there. Put our lever back. That's good. And now I'm just going to swap these other blocks here for sandstone, tidy it up. I think I'll take that one as well. So I've brought some extra sandstone for that. There we go, all nice and tidy. And I think I need to tidy this side up the same. Otherwise it'll bug me a bit. So there we go. So that's the final video I'll be doing down here, because that's everything covered now. So actually want to watch down there for a second actually. See, make sure there's just swords going in there. I forgot what it was called then. I can't actually see anything going in there. But there's stuff going somewhere. There we go. There was a sword. You can see the filter pulsing there, so it's happily pulsing away. Not that it needs to be, but because it's got the redstone tube there, it's actually pulsing that anyway. So yeah, just swords going that way. You do have to be careful when you are getting your XP, because you will just all right click down to grab all the XP out of there. If you left click it by mistake, you can lose your jar down the transposer, and it'll send it to the disposal. So if you're on a server and you don't fully trust everyone, like I had to on the other server, because Kel's a line stepper, you can actually make an extra one of these and put one in the filter, so that if anyone does break one and they get sucked in, they go through the filter into your sorting system instead. So yeah, this is the last video I'll be doing on here. Like I said, I probably will add some more jars, but that's the only thing I need to do here now. You just add a few more jars. So I'll leave that there for now, and I'll go back to the house and I'll continue with the video there. So I'll see you in a bit. And here we are back at the house. This is the next day from when you last saw me, and you can see there's been some big changes here. I was getting a bit squashed in with all the stuff, all the machines and stuff, but about time I made things a bit bigger. So I used the filler, the Buildcraft filler that I showed you before, and I made a big 3 chunk by 3 chunk box. So I've run out of materials for the floor, but I've been using marble, but eventually the floor will be Zycraft floor, because Zycraft floor is a nice added feature that mobs cannot spawn on it. So for your interiors of your buildings, it's really nice to have, and for roofs and stuff to keep mobs off it. So the roof might get Zycrafted as well. So you can see the windmill's still in the same place, the wind turbine still in the same place it was. Got some glass above the bees, so the bees can keep on working. And if I turn the chunk boundaries on, you can see that I just went to the chunk boundaries. So this is a nice little 9 chunk thing. I'm going to bring everything inside here, so the farms and stuff, if they fit, are all going to be inside, so I can actually have the chunk loader just on a 9 chunk thing. All my farmcraft stuff's over here at the minute. My bed and stuff's over there, so this will all get laid out better in time. If you see my factory on the main server, I've kind of made it look factory-ish. I'm going to do the same here. This all came about because I now need a tank for my liquid DNA. I know where to put it, and it all turned into this. So that's what I've been doing, messing around, wasting time. I actually built a big circular building first with a really high roof, stepped right up. It took me a couple of hours and I didn't like the look of it, so I knocked it all down again. It took me another hour or so. Eventually got up to this point. I said I was done with the XP grinder for now, but there's one more thing I want to add. This is an upgrade onto how I'm getting rid of stuff, courtesy of a subscriber, C Frosty Scriv, sorry. And he suggested that I use obsidian pipe and a void transport pipe. So I've come under the floor here. I forgot to make the obsidian pipe, so I'll just come back. So what this should do is, what I'm actually going to do, what I could really do with is something to stand on up there. Let me put a bit of sandstone there. There we go. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to move that across one. So I'm going to put void pipe there. I'm going to break that one, and I'm going to put an obsidian pipe right next to it. So there. What an obsidian pipe does is suck anything in that touches it, and what a void pipe does is destroy anything that goes into it. So with that little setup, so we've got the relay there still. So there's our relay. So that should still spit things out, and that should delete stuff. So instead of having the netherite block there, we've got that now. So I'm going to turn this on. I took bones out of the filter because I've got loads of bones at the minute. I can always take them. I can always put them back in the filter if we want to start collecting bones again. But for the time being, I'm getting rid. So there we go. That's a little bit more elegant than the netherrack and the fire. So thanks for that, Frosty. So our bones and swords go in there. I think I can just throw things like that as well here. I don't often use these, but yeah, I like that. Good. So right now we're actually finished with this area. I can just leave that to work its magic, bring me free stuff, and the rest of the episode, what we need to do is the board's gone with the plans on, which I need to put back up. But the board actually did go anyway because when I started building, I created dark patches, and a creeper came up here and blew up next to me and blew the board up. So I actually need to redo the board. But the next priority on the board was, and still is, titanium, because I want to get a quarry going. What a quarry! I'm going to be struggling for materials all the time. So that is our priority. So let's make a new board. So titanium, and for titanium, oops, I need GregTech, industrial, had to think then, so I had to stay quiet. Electrolyzer and oops, made a cock of that, and blast furnace. Let's put it there. Cock it. So we need that. That'll get us quarry, and then after that, and let's do something else. What was it? It was something else. If you're looking at, it needs to start sorting. Increase the sorting system for the quarry. Then we need to start automating processing and stuff like that. There was something else. I don't remember what it is. So I'm going to start getting materials together to make us these bits of kit, and we'll see about getting some titanium together. So I shall be back in a bit once I've prepped all that. And we're back. A couple of things to update. I'm not ready with the titanium yet, but I have made an industrial electrolyzer, and I'm currently pulverizing my bauxite dust. Why is that? Oh, that's stopped because there's 64 in there. Okay, let's get rid of that sand as well. Give it a bit more space. For all the sand in there, I'm just sending some of the sand into glass at the minute using the blue electric furnace. And throwing the glass in there. I made a few more fabricators to make it a bit easier. So there's the industrial electrolyzer pattern. Now, even though the pattern asks for advanced circuits there, it can take pulsating chipsets. So I've been using them, and as you can see, I'm making pulsating chipsets here, making a good few. Got 16 ender pearls, and this thing I'll eject to a chest adjacent to it, so it's put into that chest, but it's also put into there, so I've got to be aware of that. So that's going real slow, but it's going quick enough that I can actually get things made. So what I did was I made those three things: extractor, electrolyzer, magnetizer. They're all pretty straightforward IC2 machines. Basically a machine block and a circuit with some other stuff. Machine block, redstone, fences, machine block circuit and some tree taps. So they're all pretty straightforward, and of course a bit of refined iron on the outside. So the electrolyzer is pretty simple to make. Now that wants to do that in there. I'm going to need some tin cells in there, so let's quickly make some tin cells. How much tin have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4. Or 16. Make us some tin cells. Now these tin cells don't get used up. I think I'm going to need more than that actually. Let's have a look. Press U. It should show me. I need 8 for each 12 of them. So 16 will get it working. So this will all change once I've actually got a bit of. Once I've got a quarry, I've got some decent resources coming in. I'll be able to craft things a lot quicker and a lot bigger scale. But at the minute, I'm just chasing my tail a little bit, trying to keep up with the materials. So that'll get us our tiny dusts. So the next thing we're on with is the blast furnace. So I can get rid of that because we've made that now. And I'll keep hold of them so I know where they are. First thing I do for the blast furnace is these things, cupronickel heating cells. And all they are, they're pretty straightforward. They're just copper with either nickel or ferrous ingot around them. Now, I don't like using ferrous ingot for it, and I've changed all my nickel into Invar, I believe. So, off camera in a minute, I'm going to work out how to try and change some of that back into nickel if I can. If not, I'll be pulverising some iron ore, so I'll go and do some iron ore mining, and that's how you get the dust. That then you can then turn. Sorry, you get iron dust, of course, but as well as the iron dust down here, you get the bonus dust that you can turn into the nickel. So that's one way of getting nickel. I'll check other ways of doing that. So that's the next thing. So what we need to do for the blast furnace, of course, this actually makes a blast furnace, but the blast furnace is a multi-block piece of kit. So along with that we also need reinforced machine casings. You don't actually need reinforced, but I like to go straight to reinforced. That's part of the reason why you get the steel production going early on. One reason for a steam boiler, which I've not had to make yet because of the power converters. And the other reason is because I like to make my blast furnace using reinforced casings to start with, and then you can upgrade them to the higher casings later on. Now the way this works is each casing has a temperature tolerance. I believe it's 30 for standard, 50 for reinforced, and 100 per advanced per machine casing. So what you do, you build a structure the same shape as your railcraft blast furnace. So if that was all standard, each one of these blocks would be worth 30. You also put 2 lava blocks in the centre, and I think they're worth 100 each. So you add up that total temperature, and that temperature gives you your capacity for the blast furnace. So if you look at titanium again, which is what we're going for, and then if you look at how to make that, oh, what's that? Advanced plate in here. So this might be like the steel, where we've got an alternate way of making it. Interesting. So that's titanium into titanium. Well, that's diamonds and a solenoid here. Interesting. So you can get away with not having a blast furnace. But I think I've got a blast furnace route. Oops, throw my bag on the floor there. So what was I saying? Yeah, I was looking at titanium. So you'll see, if you look at the blast furnace in there, you'll see that heat capacity 1500. So that means the blast furnace you use to make the titanium has to have a capacity of at least 1500. Now if you look at steel or aluminium, you'll see that steel ingot has got a capacity, has got a, alright, so that's not when you're making a blast furnace, industrial I mean. There we go. So heat capacity for steel is 1000, which is why you can make steel and aluminium in them guys over there, because they've got enough capacity to make steel and aluminium, but not much else. Tungsten at the other end of the scale, I think it's one of the highest. In fact, if you look at the hot tungsten steel, you see that's got a 3000 capacity, so you need quite a lot of the advanced casings in an industrial blast furnace for that to get that much heat. So that's why we have different casings in a blast furnace. Some of the other RegTech stuff has specific casing patterns, like the implosion compressor, the grinder, and they actually have to have a set pattern, which you can see when you make the thing. There's a little picture, but you're best off looking on the wiki. At the minute I've got no iron hardly. Oops. I've got no refined. I've got one refined iron. I've got no iron, so I need to go get some iron because I need some. It says steel machine hulls there, but you can use advanced machine blocks, which I probably will. Although I may use the steel machine hulls. What's that? I think steel around the machine parts. I'll probably just make the normal advanced machine block, now using the advanced alloy and the compressed stuff. God, come on, think, idiot. Them guys, come back. Come back, where are you? There it is. Oh, I'm failing badly. There we go, machine block with advanced alloy and carbon plates around it. I'll probably just use them. So I'm going to need 34 of these blocks. So is that, that's 7, 8. It's 8 lots. I'm going to need 8 machine hulls there, and I'm going to need one for there, so I'm going to need 9 altogether. I also need a couple of induction furnaces, which also need advanced machine blocks, so I need a good few machine blocks. So I'll be back when I've made those. And we're back again. I've just been mining in the medium hill I found. I was going to film it, but the episodes tend to run on a bit long if I do that. Something I wanted to show you there. Because I'm using a pickaxe to the core, I get extra bonus materials in the form of clusters. Now, if I remember rightly, those go in there, and I think these, there we go. So this is extra iron, tin and gold, and that's as well as the I believe these drop as a bonus as well as the ore that I was getting. So that's pretty cool. If you're using a pickaxe as a core for manual mining, you get some extra stuff. So well worth doing. I've got my pulverised iron in there, and that's the pulverised ferrous metal I was talking about that you can use for making your cupronickel heating cells. So with all this, I should have enough refined iron once I cook that through there again to make all the machine blocks that I need, and I should be pretty much ready to build it all. So back when I do that, something to note as well is this MFE was full. I turned on the electrolyzer. It did 2 lots, so I got 4 tiny piles of dust, and then it drained that totally of power. So I'm going to have to look at my power before I do anything serious with the electrolyzer. But I've got 4 tiny dusts, so that's 1 titanium ingot, so I need to do that one more time. So what I've done is I've changed the setting there on the MFE, that thing there. I'll do it on one of the other ones. Is if you cycle through there, you can see on the bottom left of my screen it's changing the redstone behaviour. Now I've done it so that it doesn't output energy, so don't output energy unless full. No, I don't want that, want it. So it's the first. I don't output energy, so if I put a redstone signal on there now, it'll stop outputting. But, like I have there, I put a lever on there, so that's stopped this putting out. So it's letting it fill back up, basically. So that's worth knowing. If your machines run out of power, and because the GregTech machines, they get stuck in this cycle where they keep trying to work, and it can cause lag if they keep trying to work and there's no power getting to them. So you need to actually give them enough power to actually do a cycle before they'll start again. So that's what I'm doing there by stopping that until it's full. So we clearly ain't got enough power output from one MFE to do that. These other MFEs, that's the one that's running the ME network, that's doing fine. And this is the one that's running the Buildcraft power, that's doing fine. So they're all good at the minute, but yeah, we're going to have issues if we start doing anything big style with GregTech. This is down to 32 EU a tick at the minute. This will actually take 128 EU a tick, so I could have gone straight onto the MFE there. The blast furnace also takes 128, so I'll probably, just to make this even more of a mess, I'll probably just sling the blast furnace somewhere close for now and run it straight out of one of these MFEs, because as I say, everything's going to be moved once I've actually worked out where stuff wants to be. Now all these things, including other GregTech stuff like your IC2 stuff, you can break with the Omni wrench and you'll definitely get it back. Shift right click. Some of them you have to shift right click on a certain side, like I think it's on the top with some of them. So 100% lossless, so you'll definitely get your machine back, so it's alright moving stuff. The casings, you can just break them with a normal pick, they don't break. So there we go. So I'm gonna keep sorting this iron out and keep getting this prepped, and when we can actually put it all back together, I shall be back again. And we're back again, and there's a lot going on. I had to move this round, add extra power to make this work, so that's definitely not going to work, the setup that it's got. I think I said in the last bit, that is down, that's bringing that down to 32 EU a tick, which was probably enough for it as well. So I should be powering that different, but I've got my 8 dust, which is what I was after. The other things it's provided us is some aluminium dust, which I can turn into aluminium ingots later, some compressed air and some hydrogen cells. Now the hydrogen cells I've just chucked in there for now. We're going to need them later, but we'll end up with loads anyway, so don't worry about it now. Bang them in an extractor, I'll get your empty cells back. Your compressed air, you can just get your empty cells back by chuck them in your crafting square. So you will need some one day, but you don't need them yet, so you might as well just get your cells back for now. So we can turn that into our dust. So now we've got our 2 dust ready for when we can get the blast furnace up and running and change them into ingots. So we've got 35 aluminium dust from that. So you get aluminium dust quite a lot. It's you end up with quite a lot of excess aluminium. So you can, anytime you can use it as an alternate for something else, it's probably worth doing. And what else are we doing? We're making some advanced alloy, and we made some carbon plates. That's for the machine blocks, and we can make our copper nickel heating coils. Now, if you remember in an episode before, I said about saving your ferrous ore for when you can put it through an industrial grinder, because with the industrial grinder, if you use mercury, your ferrous ore, your nickel dust and platinum dust, and of course your platinum dust, you can get iridium nuggets from. So I try and save all that, but I had to use 3 because I didn't have any other way of doing this at the minute. So I used 3 of my ferrous ores, and I used them with rich slag, so I actually got 9 ferrous ingots out of the 3 ores, so it's not the end of the world. So with that in the rolling machine, we can make these. Now I've got a mixture of nickel, and that's the free nickel that I had from pulverising the iron. So I've actually got a bit of spare ferrous ingot. I could have used a bit less, but that gets us our 4 heating coils. Now you end up with 6. One day we'll probably end up with more than 1 blast furnace, so it's not a big deal. So there's 4 of them. I've got the 2 golden chipsets in there. So we need our induction furnaces next. And are these done yet? There's 16 of them, so we've got enough of them. So I'm going to go ahead and make 12 of the... We ain't got enough of them yet. I can't count. I ain't got enough of them either. I really can't count. Okay, I need some more coal. Now the coal, to make into carbon plates, you need to pulverise into dust, and from there you have to do a bit of magic with it in the crafting. I say a bit of magic, it's not really. I'll show you. Put it into 4, you get one of these raw carbon fibres. Put 2 raw carbon fibres together, you get I believe raw carbon mesh. So let's do that. So there's your raw carbon mesh, and that's what goes into your compressor to become your carbon plates. So that's pretty straightforward. So there's our 24 advanced alloy. That's good. Just need some more carbon plates to get all these that we need. But we've got 8, so we can get on with stuff while that's cooking. Now the first thing we need is our induction furnaces. Now I'm going to make 3. We only need 2, but I'm going to make 3 because having an induction furnace to use is very useful anyway. So first of all, you make some iron furnaces, which is a furnace with some iron ingots. Get some redstone and a circuit with them. You have to use a circuit in this case. That makes them into electric furnaces. So there's where 3 of our advanced machine blocks are going. And then you just want to put copper around them. Oops. We'll spread down bits of copper out. There we go, there's 3 induction furnaces. Now, this is part of the advanced machines thing. I'm just going to put that there for now, just to show you. This has got a heat percentage. If I was to put a redstone signal in front of this, if it was powered, then that heat, the redstone signal would keep that heat up. So it takes quite a long while to build the heat up. So if I'd put some stuff in there to cook, it's starting at 0%, it'd gradually get quicker, but when it's at 100% they'd fly through there really quick, and it's 2 inputs, 2 outputs, so you can really get a lot of material through an induction furnace. But to keep it at speed, you want to keep that at 100%, so you just put a redstone lever, put a lever in front, or some other kind of redstone signal, and that'll keep that up and running. That's part of the advanced machines thing. There's also an advanced extractor, compressor and macerator which we'll be making. That's I find the best way to process stuff quick. You can just bang stuff in there real quick, and some people use a lot of these ones with overclockers and such like. I actually prefer just the upgraded one. So it's no, it's not. It's called a singularity compressor, centrifuge extractor, rotary macerator, and your induction furnace. And I'll probably end up, long term, I'll probably end up with 2 of each of them. So I don't mind making an extra one of them now. Might as well make it while I needed it. So the other 2 can go in there. So now I believe all we're missing is that guy. So there we go. There's our industrial blast furnace. And to go with that, we need, so they're advanced circuits. And then I said it was 8 of these I need, didn't it? So I'm going to need 16 advanced circuits. So 16 of them guys. I'm going to need quite a lot of steel, but I should have quite a lot of steel. Well, I should have 2 stacks of steel, I think should be enough. Steel, there we go, I'll take all that for the time being. And see if I'm actually doing the math right here. I might end up with some spare, but if we're doing it with some spare, it's not the end of the world. So there's the rest of our coal dust we needed. Turn that into mesh. We'll cook that up. Now this episode's probably getting over half an hour now, so as soon as we get this made, I'm probably going to call it for this episode. And next episode, which I'll make straight after this one's uploading, will be the making of the quarry and getting that placed, and working out how we're going to deal with what comes in. So how many more of these did I need? I needed 8 in total, so I need another 4. And we can start placing these ones. Notice that I made a wand of equal trade. That's how I put all the glass in, by the way, the wand of equal trade. This won't be staying stone brick, by the way. This is just stopgap. This will probably all get changed to Zycraft stuff at some point, probably. All the walls, there'll be a lot of glass and stuff. I've updated the board, but I'll show you that next episode. Stone brick I just made here, using an ignis extruder, making it into stone. At the minute, I've got stone going into fill the chest there. But before, I had it going out the top into this packager, which was making it into stone bricks. And then I was pumping the stone bricks into the chest. So that's how I got all the stone to make the box, if anyone was wondering. I'm just going to sleep real quick, and then that carbon should be done. You see, I've added one thing to the server. I've added a mod called Beckill's TPS. What that does, if you, with a /TPS, it just tells you how the server's performing. So you can see I've got the nether chunk loaded for the lava station. That's running at 2.19 milliseconds. So if you start getting, if that total there gets over 50, then you're going to start losing ticks. So you'll start experiencing lag because of, I think they call it tick lag, tick rate lag. So it's just good to see if you've got any issues anywhere. That's called Beckill's TPS. I think if you just type in, I think it's something like that, Beckill's TPS. If you put that in Google, you should find it. I find it pretty useful. So there's the rest of our machine blocks. I guess it's 32, so we're actually too short, aren't we? We need 34, so I'm going to have to pause it while I'll sort out some more advanced alloy and stuff. Back in a bit. Well, it turns out the episode's already running way long, so I'm going to have to leave it on a cliffhanger. Will the blast furnace get made? Who knows? Tune in next time. So, thanks for watching, and I hope I see you next time. Cheers. Bye.